Fellas, AC here. Welcome to another review. Now, I'm going to talk about a fragrance which doesn't get a lot of talk in the community. But before I do so, I want to make an announcement. I have recently, only yesterday, signed up for the Amazon affiliate program. Now, if you see a description in my link, and it's a global description, so that link will work no matter where you're accessing from, as long as Amazon serves in your country. And if you make a purchase using that link, I'll get a small commission. And the reason I've done that is because I want to create a little sort of system of feeding money into me so that I can buy fragrances using that money rather than spending my own money. It's one of my resolutions of 2019. I'm refusing to spend my own money, new money, to buy fragrances. I've spent a lot, actually. If I did the maths, it will be easily over £50,000, easily. So I'm trying to be a little bit judicious, but just wanted to make that, and you can see the descriptions in my detailed description of this video and subsequent videos. So I'm talking about this fragrance here. It's from a house called L'Occitane. L'Occitane Eau de Cade. This fragrance gets very little talk about it itself, and you know what? I think it's one of those beautiful hidden gems that our community needs to talk about a bit more. Eau de Cade. Eau de Cade was created in 2014 by Karine Dubreuil. Now, she is the lady who's created Gucci Pour Homme 2. But I tell you what, this fragrance reminds me of Gucci Pour Homme 1. Yeah? Just add a little bit of fizziness to it, as if mixing the fizzy bit of Coca-Cola with Gucci Pour Homme. That's about it. So how does it start off? You see, it starts off as if it's very fizzy, lemony, spicy, fruity scent. It's very well disguised. It's a very good creation. It's basically a fougere, but it doesn't smell like a typical fougere. It smells like something which is well known and recognized, like a fougere, but something on the top makes it very modern. So it's like a nouveau retro. That's the word I can think of. A nouveau retro, if there is such a word. Retro, obviously, everybody knows. Nouveau means in French, it means new. So something which is newish and still retro. That's what I smell. It's beautiful, guys. Absolutely beautiful. It's supposed to marry a flower which I really like. It's called Immortelle flower. It has juniper berries, bergamot, and Immortelle flower. I like all these three notes. There's one fragrance called 1740. I hope I'm capturing this right. 1740 by Histoire de Parfum. This is a very challenging fragrance, but a very nice fragrance. This is not for the faint of heart, because the leather is very animalic here. But Immortelle plays a big role in this fragrance. And from this fragrance, I've learned a lot about Immortelle. So I can see what Immortelle is doing here. It plays a very small role, but very significant role. See, when you mix juniper and bergamot, so you've got juniper berry, which has got this lemony, spicy, slight fruity and woody nuances to it. Then you bring in bergamot, which is zesty and beautiful. And then you mix Immortelle, which is fleshy, fruity. It just amps up the fruity side of juniper berry. That's all it does. And soon joins the party a very synthetic smelling designer type pepper. That pepper can put you off. It doesn't to me. But some very cheap fragrances, not cheap, but inexpensive fragrances, designer fragrances, use that pepper. So it might be sort of put you off a bit. But I don't imagine. I think it's a very friendly and easy to wear fragrance. In the middle stages, there's a woody note, and that woody note is basically cedar or synthetic isoe super. There's a lot of isoe super here, but the fragrance isn't very sharp. In fact, it's just the opposite. It's basically very diffusive and dense kind of a scent with slight undertone of balminess, yeah, as if it's a balm that you've applied. That's because of labdanum. So later stage, basically Immortelle plays lesser role, juniper slightly lesser role, more role is played by cedar or isoe super and labdanum. Yeah, that's why I said this fragrance is basically Gucci pour homme mixed with Coca-Cola. I know it's a weird one, but that's how it smells. That's the best way to explain to you how it smells like. If you've never smelled Gucci pour homme, then imagine this to be a very fizzy, very interesting, herbal smelling, deep scent. Yeah, that's how I would describe this. So, pros and cons. Number one pro, it's a very interesting composition, and one that you wouldn't find anywhere else. A fizzy Gucci pour homme. I think it's a very interesting and unique sort of a composition. Number two, it's a very refined scent. These are the sort of fragrances you should wear when you're going for an interview, or when you're going for a sort of a situation where you have to project yourself as a very refined gentleman. That's what this fragrance is. Very refined, slightly reserved, but very, very well made. Yeah. If you look hard enough, you'll probably get it for about £45. I can see currently, this is very hard to get hold of. Currently it's listed on Amazon for 46. 100 ml 46, this sort of a scent. It's a decent value for money. And the other one is the Versatility. See, I've worn this fragrance over the winter. In the winter months, it smells a little bit different. The lemony note comes up a bit more, and it performs and projects a little bit better. Now it's warmed up a bit. It's about 9 to 10 degrees at the moment. I think it's performing slightly less, but slightly less, only slightly less. So yeah, versatility of the fragrance is tremendous. So those are two pros. The two cons would be the performance. The performance is slightly mediocre on this one. This doesn't project. It stays close to the skin, and if you go heavy, then you will probably get a better performance out of this. So yeah, I mean, performance can be an issue. Only in the projection side though. Longevity is pretty decent. 6 to 8 hours. Sillage is also quite decent. If you put it under your shirt, you will get wafts of the scent all day long. I don't see a problem with that. Yeah. The second downside. Now this fragrance can appear to be a little bit of a mature scent, and that could be a problem with the youngsters, but I firmly believe that if you're a 25 plus guy, I don't think this will, first few occasions it might sound a little bit mature, but then, you know, you will see that there's a place for this in your cupboard, for sure. In terms of complement factors, see, I wore this over the winter to work. It really suits the work environment in cold weather. And obviously we are working in air-conditioned environment, so 20-25 degrees probably in indoor temperatures. So 3 or 4 times I've been complimented by colleagues, not by women but by men. They're saying, that's a very nice little scent, you know. It's very classy sort of a scent. Those are the kind of words that I received. So there is compliment factor, although I don't think you will get huge amounts of compliment from women who are saying this is a panty dropper or this is highly seductive. It's not. It's a very refined, manly scent. Women sometimes really like that kind of scent. And also it's slightly subdued, you know. It's pulls people towards you because they'll be very intrigued by the fragrance you're wearing. So I think I covered all aspects. Marks out of 10. I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. The reason I removed the marks 3 is obviously some people don't like a subtle fragrance. For them, it's a deal breaker. Number 2, the fragrance has been composed in a way that it's going to be slightly uncomfortable for people who are new to fragrances and who only wear citrus fragrances. As I said, fizzy Gucci pour homme. It's not going to be an easy concept. And the third reason I've removed the marks is because of its lack of versatility with everybody. Yeah. So 25 plus, I would say 30 plus to be on the safe side. But I think it'll win your heart. The moment you put it on your hands, it'll win your heart. So marks out of 10, 7. Hope you like the review. Take care. Bye-bye.